There was once a man in England who had a call from God to go to an American lumber camp and preach the gospel. So the guy, he got his fare paid for, and he went overseas and went to America, and he did this preaching. Problem is, the lumber camp was deserted. But the guy, he knew God called him, and he got into the cafeteria, and he stood up on a table, and he preached his message that he was sent to preach. He went back home, and about 4 years later, he ran into a stranger on the London Bridge. The stranger stopped him and says, you're the guy I've been looking for. Well, the evangelist thought to himself, I've never met you. What are you talking about? And the stranger went on to explain, remember that time you went to that American lumber camp and preached that message? I heard it. And the evangelist said, no, there was no one in that room. And the guy quickly corrected him. He said, no, you're wrong. I came back to get a saw that I forgot, and I heard your message, and it changed my life. I came to know Jesus. As they parted the ways, the stranger looked at the evangelist and says, God sent you to me. I think oftentimes it's easy to be concerned about saving the masses and overlook the fact that God may send us to one specific person. Now, Jesus, I know Jesus had his preaching on the hillsides with the masses, but we also see a different side of Jesus. In John, he goes to Nicodemus, the Samaritan woman at the well, the official with the son. He goes to a blind man. Not to mention Paul, not to mention Zacchaeus, a tax collector. You see, God is a God who, when he wants his child to be called home, he's going to do what it takes. And at a certain point in history, that meant sending his own son into the world. Maybe I'm to blame for this, maybe being a little bit nearsighted of being concerned about just reaching the crowds or the masses. But I've come to realize that I may be sent to just one person. Maybe God has that plan for you today. I love the story of the evangelist who simply obeyed God's voice regardless of the results or the success he was going to have. And I want to invite you out to Midtown Church. This is my church. Me and a group of about 6 of us started this a few years ago. And we have a deep, deep longing to reveal Jesus to you in the way he's presented in the entire Bible. Midtown Church is in Melbourne, Florida. It's a great family. It's a family of believers that I believe truly get it. As they encourage me, and in return, God encourages them through me. I invite you out Sunday at 10:30. Thanks for listening.